space wise. Let's create new lives. Mormon space wise. Our God has a body. It's a very toned body. He looks good. Mormon space wives. Mormon space wives. Space sex. Space sex. Magic underwear, fitting tight. Magic underwear, looking right. Mormon space wives. Lords of color. Let me have intimacy with you on the planet of Naboo. Magic underwear fits so tight. Magic underwear feels so right. Mormon space wife, creating new lives. Mormon space wife. Mormon space wife.
You can't try to fix today's problems.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. We are so back, chat. How are we doing? How's it going, chat? I hope everyone's having a wonderful, beautiful morning, day, or night where you guys are. How we doing, everybody? How we doing, chat? How we doing? How are we feeling, chat? We are so back. We're back from vacation, guys. We're back from overseas. Thank you for the prayers, guys. I'm sure all the prayers went through. It gave me and my wife a safe flight and a safe trip. Thank you guys for being here. I hope everyone's doing good. How's everyone doing, chat? Update me on life, chat. How are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? What's going on, chat? As I try to open up Paint 3D. How we doing, chat? We got Abigna. We got Leon. We got Dawn. We got Nomad. Guys, this is going to be a great stream. We might do open mic, but more importantly, we're going to be using a drawing pad this stream, okay? I finally hooked it up. We're going to be able to draw notes, write notes down while streaming. You guys are going to see it, digital notes. That way, we can have much better theories, much better argumentation, have our facts and logic in order. Let me see. For some reason, Paint 3D is completely glitched. But chat, how are we doing? Craw, welcome back. Actual legend. Dean's life doing laundry. Cheers late in the sun already. Yo, welcome back, Craw. We missed you, bro. Hold on. I need to get Paint 3D enabled. Where is it? But yeah, chat, as I try to find Paint 3D, as you guys know, the stream donations is 110% optional. Nobody here has to donate a single penny. You guys get this content for free. But if you guys want to help me not be homeless, if you guys want to help me start a family, help me take care of my family, friends, and wife, feel free, chat, to use the Stream Elements link at the top of the chat. Donate via Stream Elements. I would greatly appreciate it. You guys know everything is very expensive. You guys know a house is expensive, a home is expensive, food is expensive. A brother is trying to live. But here we go, chat. Here we go. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. You see this, chat? What we have here is we'll call it our little whiteboard, okay? When you guys come through and you guys try to make arguments, you guys try to make theories, we're going to be writing this down. We're going to be explaining it. I'm going to be critiquing you, your argumentations, your theories, and I'm going to show you guys why some of you guys are little dummies. Some of you guys in chat are dumbos, but then others of you in chat are just geniuses. You guys are scholars. You guys are like mountain monks. This is what we're going to be doing, okay? So let's just run an example here. Let's say Abigna comes in the chat and Abigna says, hey, dude. By the way, chat, I have a drawing pad for this. Abigna comes in the chat. He's going to be like, hey, yo, Craw, I got Shanks, right? I got Shanks over Mihawk, okay? What I'm going to do, Craw with the $10 super, God bless your soul. God bless you. Thank you so much. Can we get a raw in the chat? Thank you, brother. Abigna's going to come into the chat. He's going to say some goofy stuff. He's going to say, oh, yep, bro, I got Shanks over Mihawk. We're going to look and turn to Abigna, and the first thing we're going to say is a question. We're going to ask Abigna if he's been smoking that crack rock. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to offer him a syllogism to see exactly what it is that Mr. Abigna disagrees with. So firstly, step one, premise one of our syllogism, why this is false. Shanks is not over Mihawk. Premise one is that Shanks, okay, is a swordsman. Okay, Shanks uses a sword. He deflects attacks from Makainu. He was literally called and compared to Mihawk when they called Mihawk the world's strongest swordsman. The most previous time when we got the bounties and whatnot, they literally spoke about Shanks in the context of Mihawk. They're saying, "Yo, Mihawk's the world's strongest swordsman. He's even better than Shanks." Okay, so if Shanks wasn't a swordsman, why the hell are they talking about he has even better sword skill than even Shanks? Wait, if Shanks is not a swordsman, why would you be comparing Shanks or comparing Mihawk to Shanks unless Shanks was a swordsman? Okay, so we can establish premise one that Shanks is a swordsman. Well, premise two, what's premise two, chat? Premise two is that Mihawk, is the world's, strongest swordsman. We've seen this We've seen this stated many times throughout the story. When Mihawk was introduced into the plot very early on, they labeled him as the world's strongest swordsman. But wait a second, Mihawk was introduced after Shanks, so it's not like Oda forgot Shanks or something. He put Shanks into the story chapter 1. Again, we recently saw from, what was it, the cross-skilled bounties? You guys remember the cross-skilled bounties post-Wano? They doubled, Oda quadrupled down on Mihawk being the world's strongest swordsman. So what do we get from these two premises, chat? What do we get? We get the conclusion. What's the conclusion, chat? The conclusion is that because Shanks is a swordsman, Shanks is a swordsman. Hold on, let's change the colorways. Because Shanks is a swordsman and Mihawk is the strongest swordsman, then what does this mean? This means that Mihawk, why is Mihawk written like that? Mihawk is stronger. You see, stronger than Shanks. See? Easy work. This is exactly how we're going to go about the arguments. And if you guys disagree, I have a syllogism. I'm not muddying the waters. I'm not obfuscating any facts or details. You guys point out what the problem is in this syllogism. Is it point one? Is your problem with point one that Shanks is a swordsman? Or is your problem with point two how they called Mihawk the world's strongest swordsman multiple times? Because if these two premises are true, then that means we have a sufficient cause, sufficient reason, chat, principle, sufficient reason, that we have a storyline where Mihawk is stronger than Shanks. So if you guys disagree, show me what the problem is within the syllogism. Point it out. Is it a problem with premise 1 or 2? But with that being said, chat, this is just a test run. This is nothing more than a test run. Best believe, chat, we are going to get this show on the road. Chat, we are going to get this show on the road and do a nice, beautiful One Piece reaction chapter 1183. As you guys know, we cannot have the chapter on the stream. We cannot have the panels on the screen. So you guys got to deal with that. Actually, Mihawk is the world's strongest swordsman, while Shanks is the most powerful swordsman. Okay, this is... I'm going to take this as a joke just because of the actually, the nerdy emoji. Surely no one would actually make an argument like that. Jordan, God bless, bro. Abigna, welcome back. Leon, God bless. Isn't the first point stronger based by pointing out that Shanks fights with his sword mainly? Yeah. Nice penmanship. Dude, I can't write at all. I haven't written in a long time. Actually, no. Emu is the most powerful swordsman. Okay. Does the world recognize Emu? All right. Without further ado, let's react to the chapter. I need the link to the chapter. Shout out to Young Smokey. Young Smokey did indeed put the link on Discord. All right. Chat, without further ado, One Piece 1183. Man, where are you guys? Where is everybody, man? Is it because we're reacting to the chapter a whole day late? Dude, you know, with the One Piece fandom, like the One Piece community, the hype is like limited, you know. Once the chapter drops, everyone's talking about it the first 24 hours. Then it becomes old news. All right, color page is actually pretty cool. We have Luffy, we have Brook, Chopper, we got the Straw Hats. Looks like they are with a pink elephant. Address me. 2 pink elephants. Zunisha and his family. Chat, do you guys like elephants? I love elephants. I've never seen one in real life, though. I think. All right, page 1. Here we go. The fierce battle between Loki and Emu rages on. Ragnir, thou hast waited all this time for one capable of bringing vengeance upon Emu. Why is he saying upon Emu? Doesn't he usually say like upon Mu? Yo, my boy Eli. God bless, bro. How you doing, man? Craw with another 10. Craw, God bless your beautiful soul. Craw, we got to link up. We got to chat, man. We got to chop it up. It's been so long. Craw, do me a favor, bro. Craw, please do me this one favor. Here, what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to put a link into the stream chat, okay? This link, it's a safe link. It's from me. It's StreamYard, okay? If you guys want to join the call, talk to me in voice live on stream, comments, questions, theories, concerns, join the StreamYard. Okay, you guys should make an account. Just make the account through Google. Click sign in through Google. It'll take 2 seconds to make an account. It's a safe website. We use it all the time. Craw, I want you to sign up to StreamYard so you can hop on the calls. Eli, welcome back. Yo, Eli, you know we had to update Craw on Tiante Black. That boy Tiante. Oh, my daughter, bros. All right, anyways, let's get back to the chapter. We have Emu, again, talking in third person. This is not nothing new, but a thing I want to distinguish here is that Emu is referencing Emu. Emu is the referent. Normally, the referent is Mu. So maybe this is just a quirk from TCB. So maybe it's just nothing. Maybe they meant to put Mu. So then it's not much to talk about. Or maybe this is accurate. Maybe he really did say Emu rather than Mu. And maybe this distinction here, I don't have to use my fingers and talk with my hands anymore. We can use the drawing board. Young Smokey, welcome back, brother. Let's use the drawing board. Emu, what does Emu normally do? Here, let's actually start here. Reference, okay? When Emu, right, is talking in third person, what is Emu normally saying? Emu normally says, let's do pink. Emu normally says Mu, right? This is the one that Emu usually references. This is the main referent. Even from the very beginning, if you guys remember Sabo running into the room of authority, the Gorosei turned into monster silhouettes, he said Mu. Moo, 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 like a cow. Shout out to my Indians. But now we see Emu referencing Emu. Okay? Now he is not saying Moo anymore. He's saying Emu. He's saying Emu. So what? So the question here, chat. Why is Emu the referent? Why is it Emu and why is it not Mu? Is it just TCB? Maybe TCB, instead of rendering it as Mu, they rendered it as Emu. And like, it's not a big deal. There's not much to talk about. This is just like a mundane point. Or is he intentionally referencing Emu? It's something else. There's a distinction between Mu and Emu. And yes, I'm sure there's going to be someone in the chat. Bro, I've been telling you that Mu is the body and Emu is the person. Hey, totally plausible. Sure, why not? That's a totally plausible theory. It is entirely possible that Emu is the soul and Mu is the body. Sure, why not? But that's not concretely in the story. That is what we call a theory, right? Now, we can't necessarily get up in arms and get ready to throw hands over theories, okay? So that's going to be my question, okay? This is my question to you guys. Is there significance in Emu referencing Emu rather than referencing Mu? That's my question to you, chat, okay? Let's continue onwards. Squeak, squeak, Ragnar. Oh, bro, I love Ragnar, man. Ragnar is the reason I read One Piece. I probably wouldn't bother reading this story if it wasn't for Ragnar. Ragnar is single-handedly carrying this arc along with Craw. Craw single-handedly carrying the stream. We got 2 super chats from Craw. Don't you guys know I'm not trying to go homeless? Chat, I gotta sell my kidney to buy dinner. I gotta sell my left lung to get a house. Are we doing open mic today? We might do open mic today. See, it depends how generous the chat is. You know, we do the content, we do the streams 110% free. No one here has to donate a penny. But if you guys are feeling very generous, you guys love the content, you guys love me, you want to help support me and my family, right? Because you guys, this stuff, you know, your donations, your help, this helps me take care of my wife and family, okay? Go above and beyond stream elements at the top of the stream chat. So, yeah. If you guys are feeling very generous, we'll do an open mic. You guys want to make it a goal? All right. Squeak, squeak. What is he rambling about? I've never seen someone so resilient. Huff, huff. Okay, that's Loki. Loki is talking about Emu being resilient. Okay, now we were also mentioning this on stream or on Discord. Sorry. I was talking about how Emu is, let's see. I was talking about how Emu has quite the, he's quite the durability. Here, let's write it this way. We'll write enemy. We'll write enemy, okay? And we'll write ally, okay? We've seen that Emu has quite the durability because there were several times where Loki actually threw out his strongest attack or stronger attacks, his heavy attacks. Even at one point, Loki turns to Emu and says, "There's no way you tanked that." That literally came out of Loki's mouth. That is Oda telling you Loki's throwing out haymakers and Emu's not dying. Now, if you guys remember, if you guys recall, back on Winter Island, Law fought Blackbeard. But wait a second. Blackbeard had 5 gang members, including himself. It was a 5v1 or 2 if you want to count Beppo. Blackbeard still struggled against Law. Who here is scaling Law next to Loki? Nobody. So if Blackbeard with 4 homies doesn't even capture Law, he's bleeding and sweating and panting against Law with 4 homies. That's showing you what Blackbeard's level is at, okay? Loki and Ragnar have received much more gas than Law and Blackbeard in terms of the current point of the story. We literally see Roxy, Zevek, and Harold butting heads. Emu references, or he refers to Harold when Emu says, "My strongest subordinate." Wait, so your Gorsei are your subordinates, but you called Harold your strongest subordinate. So Harold's above the Gorsei? So Harold's above the Gorsei, neck and neck with Zevek. Well, here's another thing, chat. Harold gassed up Loki. If you're Loki, you're the only one that could kill me. If you kill me, you have all the strength in the world. This is clearly showing that Loki is either equal or higher than Harold. So the whole point that I'm trying to illustrate here is that on the one side we have Emu, and on the other side we have Loki and Ragnar. Because don't forget, Ragnar is a powerful hammer with a squirrel devil fruit. That's enough to just be one entity. Versus Loki, who's a different entity. Loki is a giant with a devil fruit. Ragnar's a weapon with a devil fruit. That's 2 people. This is a 2v1 battle, chat. Emu versus Loki is Emu is fighting Loki and Ragnar. This is a 2v1. Yet, Emu over here is an immovable wall. Loki cannot take down Emu. There's no way that Emu should be tanking all these things according to Loki. But wait a second. Emu threw out attacks against Loki and Ragnar, but mainly Loki. And they aren't going down either. So what does this mean? This means we are at a stalemate. But what is Oda going to do? We know Oda's going to try to sneak in Luffy into this battle. Oda's ultimately trying to have a 3v1 with Loki, Ragnar, Luffy versus Emu. But if Emu versus Loki and Ragnar is a stalemate, it's like 2 immovable walls, 2 immovable rocks butting head to head. We would be led to believe that Luffy over here is going to offset the fight. Oh, as soon as Luffy comes, it won't be equal anymore. It won't be Emu and then Loki and Ragnar evenly butting heads. It's just a stalemate. No. Luffy's going to join in onto the side of the allies. Then it's going to be a win for the allies because it's going to be a 3v1. That's what Oda wants you to think. It's very, Oda went out of his way to point out that Loki is struggling to take down Emu. Oda wants the reader to believe that Loki and Ragnar versus Emu is a stalemate. So that when the readers think about Luffy, they imagine that because it's a 3v1, it won't be a stalemate anymore, and the allies win. This is the textbook setup, the textbook example of a bait and switch. Oda wants you to think that this 3v1 is going to lead to an ally victory, and then Oda's going to pull something out. Emu's going to pull out an ancient weapon. Emu's going to pull out his strongest attack. Emu's going to pull out some secret new hockey. It's probably going to be something like that. Okay? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Crawl with the 10. God bless your soul. Young Smokey with the 99. 99 again. Yuck F Ragnar, LOL, a bozo character. Boo Ragnar, boo. 150. We don't trust Harold's headcanon. He's the donkey of the year. And dancing for Masa Emu. F Harold and Ragnar. Listen. I appreciate the stream elements, my brother. But what's with the Ragnar slander? If you want to slander and bash Harold, hey, be my guest. I don't care at all about Harold. Harold is a bozo. I have no empathy for him. I have a little empathy for him. I have no allegiance to Harold. Okay? But you are not going to slander Ragnar, buddy. That is not your job. That is not your calling. God did not call you to do that. You better watch your mouth. Young Smokey, God bless you, bro. I didn't miss it. Young Smokey, I don't miss the super chats. I just need some time to catch up to them. See? That's what it is. I am so fast with the super chats all the time. I'm so fast with the donos that you guys are spoiled. If it takes me longer than 30 seconds, you guys think I have missed it. Nah, but I'm just kidding. But Smokey, God bless your soul. Thank you so much, bro. Yeah, I do believe that Harold he's quite the letdown. But in terms of gassing Loki and Ragnar, I have no agenda, dude. I do like Loki. I do like Ragnar, but like whether they're above Emu or below Shanks or whatever, I don't really care about that. I think, though, this is Oda illustrating for us the rankings, the power levels going on. Moreover, I mean, we could see how Emu's portrayed in the story. You know, typical big bad shonen boss pulling the strings from the shadows. Oh, and now he's physically strong. That's the typical route that these authors do. And Emu's on the grand scale because Emu's ruling and dominating the whole planet, right? But clearly Loki is going toe-to-toe with Emu, right? So in this context, in terms of Harold gassing up Loki, I think that comes from a fair perspective. Also, we got to be careful anyways. We can't say that because Harold is a bozo and he tells us that and he gasses up Loki, that we should reject the Loki gas. That would be a genetic fallacy. Okay? That would be. Do I see my boy L in the chat? My boy L is in the chat. Welcome back, bro. L, how we doing, boy? How we doing, my man? That would be a classic. Hold on. Let's set this up. That would be a classic genetic fallacy. If we argue that Craw's message, Craw's opinion, Craw's take doesn't matter, and that Craw's gang's finally back, God bless you, bro. His message is to be thrown in the dumpster behind 7-Eleven. Just because it's Craw that said that, that would be a fallacy. Because I could be a dumb bozo hillbilly celestial dragon fan, but that actually holds no bearing on the things that I say. I could be schizophrenic. Does that mean you should reject me saying that 1 + 1 = 2? No, you shouldn't, because regardless, right, of what's being said, we must evaluate the claim. Okay? So Young Smokey, Young Smokey, I'm doing this because of the Ragnar slander. I will not tolerate it. Okay? Moving on. God bless you, Young Smokey. Thank you so much, bro. L, welcome in, man. How you doing, bro? Pints of Guinness. God bless. God called me to hate on a squirrel because I'm Chopper gang. Yo, I'll hate on Chopper before I hate on Ragnar. No offense. Forget Chopper. Can we just replace Chopper with Ragnar? Okay. Loki, Straw Hat Luffy, neither of you could ever be Moo's soldiers. Moo will erase thee. Okay, see? We were just saying earlier, chat, that Emu is referencing Moo in one moment, but then referencing Emu in another moment. We're still on page 1 of the chapter, so I don't want to go too deep on this. We'll come back to it later. Just like Dozan. Wait. Whoa. Time out. What? I haven't read the chapter yet, guys. This is I'm going in raw. You know, we go going in raw. Emu will erase thee just like Dozan. Why is Emu putting the rod in his finger like that? It looks so goofy. Dozan. Huff. Ragna 2 Jin Blades. Is that lightning that I'm seeing? Emu swinging it. Time Sword of Wrath Gram. Sword of Wrath Gram. Man, I still can't believe we're witnessing this, dude. Emu versus Loki. What the hell, bro? Yo, Smokey, what if I told you last arc in Egghead, Loki is going to be one of the strongest characters in the whole story, and he's going to fight Emu? Would you believe me? And P.S., why does this feel like Loki, or why does this feel like Odin versus Kaido? Where Odin is actually the dragon this time, Loki, and Kaido is Emu. This is maybe Odin versus Kaido. It was like a shadow to the reality of Loki versus Emu. Oh my gosh. Is this not Splitting the Sky, by the way? Western Village, save the children. Ooh-ah. We're not letting you take them. We just saved them. We'll never give up on our children. Wait, guys, stop moving. We need to do blood transfusions. You'll die if we don't. They're trying to take my boy. My life doesn't mean a damn thing right now. Oh, W parent. W parent. Wah, Kya, help us. Help us. So the god of the rain seems to be like made out of water. Only 7 brats. Well, I guess that'll do. Let's go, Zaza. What the hell's going on here? Oh, Sanji. Oh, the cube's still there. Brook, about that woman. Is there a reason you were so hell-bent on confronting her? I only butted in because I could tell it was serious. Do you know her, Brook? Is she an enemy from your past? She's not an enemy. She's someone I hoped I'd never have to see again. Huh? It was supposed to stay that way. Now, I'm completely lost. Is she who I think she is? She'd be 77 by now. then she can't be the same person. I mean, she's a celestial dragon. Yes, but the last time I saw her, she was departing for Marijoa. She was a princess in my home kingdom. What? Brooke, she's still frozen solid. We can't tell if she's still or if she's alive, but maybe that's for the best. Couldn't she just be a celestial dragon lookalike? None of this changes the fact that we came here to lay siege to Elbaf. Or that she came here to lay siege to Elbaf. True, but she's the one who released our restraints. We're freed. Yay, we're untied. My mind powers did the trick, you see? Wait, Gunko freed them? W Dad. Yo, Nagaranta, welcome in. W Angie. Why would she do that? Run, Brooke. She seemed to recognize me. And then she just turned back into a devil. It's almost like I've witnessed 3 different personalities. Her original personality, the personality that saved us, and the demon form. Huh. 3 personalities? So do you think she's being controlled? Back then, I wouldn't have thought of such a possibility. But after seeing how people are turning into demons today, I can't reconcile the conflicting feelings swirling through my chest. Sorry if this is insensitive, Brooke, but we need to know if she should be spared or killed. We can't make a move till you decide. It was honestly a really long time ago. She was just a kid, and I was so young. There was once a kingdom that fell called Esperia. It was a country where music flourished. Instrument studios lined the streets. 70 years ago, West Blue, 4 a.m. Strum, brum, strum. Ahem, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Waking up in the morning, it's a good mermaid. A new world's beginning. There's so many seas out there. I'd love to meet them all. Good mermaid. Good morning, Esperia. No more waiting around for fair winds. Let's sail again, baby. The back alley, folks. Be quiet. Dude, there's like this overlay that's blocking the bottom of the page. 3 personalities, Blackbeard upscale. Yo, what's good, Jordan? How's it going on, bro? Or how's it going, bro? Roger and Gunko would have been the same age if Roger was still alive. I didn't even think about that. Good morning, Brooke. The port people, the arena. Oh, how I long to meet a sexy mermaid one day. Shut it, Brooke. It's Lord Brooke. Lord Brooke? Kick him out of the corpse. She'd steal my soul away. Call that a fish thing. Somebody get me a gun. Yeah. This is the country of instrument makers, Esperia Kingdom. Which, by the way, I'm sure everybody notices this Nika silhouette. Do you guys see the Nika silhouette with our boy Brooke? Brooke. Marshall D. Brooke. Trust me, chat. I'm waiting on it. Marshall D. Brooke. Laugh all you want. Peak straw hat lick moment. Wait, what do you mean by lick? Like liquor? Esperia liquor? I barely even know her. Captain, teach us how you do your swift slash. You dote too much on Princess Shuri. How shameful. I've been teaching you all, haven't I? To master the basics before you can dream. Alrighty. I wonder what's for dinner tonight. Yeah, my tummy is grumbling. We'll deliver Bink's sake. Bink's sake. Bink's sake is making a reappearance into the story chat. Bink's sake. Brooke did the Nika jump pose for a second time. He did it first in Fishman Island. Yeah. You got a good memory, bro. He did indeed do the Nika jump at Fishman Island. Correct. The ocean breeze guides our way. Far across the eye can see. The sun is shining merrily. Why does Brooke look like that, man? Raider Captain Guard Corpse of Asperia, Brooke, 20 years old. Why does he look like that, man? I don't really like his face. You ever just look at someone and you're like, bro, I don't like your face. Can you guys relate to that? Like me right now? Bro, I need a shave, man. Guys, tell me that's not like relatable. You ever look at someone, you just look at their face and you're like, bro, I don't like your face. Is that rude? It is. What if it's Jeffrey? What if it's Jeffrey Epstein? Oh, it's okay if it's Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, Jeffrey Dahmer. Yo, we need to start putting red flags on people named Jeffrey. All right. As the birds fly in the sky, as they sing out with glee. Dee-hee-hee-hee, we worked hard today. You think I got stronger? Just like Mama? Kingdom of Asperia Princess Shuri. So her name's Shuri. Gunko is like a fake name that Emu gave her. And why does she have like two different eyes? She has like some eye thing going on like Loki. Your mother is indeed super strong. Ah, Lady Candle, the light of my life. Bad look falling for a married lady, Brooke. What are you saying? Love is freedom. Love is freedom. Oh, gosh. Oh, brother. Love is love. What do you mean? Kingdom of Asperia, King Leuven. Why does that remind me of... First of all, it reminds me of Treble. One Piece World. Why does this guy look so familiar? I feel like this might have been one of the dudes that showed up at the Reverie. Or is it someone that works in the underground? Why does he look so familiar? Guys, where is this dude from? Why does he look so familiar? Love is freedom is the same thing Scopper said when Luffy, Zoro, and Nami met him. No way. Yo, what's up, nerdy Saurus? Brooke is out here trying to steal wives. Love is a hurricane. A mix of Treble and Blackbeard. Dude, he reminds me... I can't put my finger on it. Leuven. I cannot put my finger on it. Dude, I can't think of it, but there's someone that this guy... Is he in like the underground? Yo, whatever happened to the underworld? Oda like kind of brought that into the story and then like ditched it. You guys remember in like Dressrosa? Oda was like showing, oh, there's like a whole underworld. They're doing all these secret trades. Like, whatever happened to that? Did Oda realize it would take too long to go through all that all the time? I'll execute you for treason. You're so harsh. Wow, bro. I mean, my majesty. Daddy. Wait, that's the... Oh, dude, that's her dad? Oh. Yo, I'm surprised she didn't turn out different, bro. Like, sheesh. Yo, any ladies in the chat? What do you guys think about Leuven right here? You're scheming to assassinate me, aren't you? I would never. I'll just wait for nature to take its course. When I grow big, I'll marry you instead. Shuri, that's the kind of cute thing kids normally tell their dads. Oh, I don't really want a pride with a runny nose. Chat, by the way, I know that like this whole scene, you know, it might come off strange, you know, wanting to marry like an old guy or like daughters wanting to marry their dad. That does happen in real life. Kids are dumb. I think like that was the angle Oda was coming at with this. I do think Oda is a perv, but in this context, I think it was actually innocent. Like you see little kids, like girls, they want to like marry their dad. I think like I saw like a news story one time. Like this little girl was dying of cancer and she wanted to get married. So like she had like a wedding with her dad, but not in like a pervy, nasty, lustful way. It's just like an innocent, childish way. It doesn't have to be, how grown adults tend to view marriage. Kids are dumb, dude. Anyways, why don't you dare shoot down my daughter right in front of me. He didn't want Brook to shoot her down. I'm a one woman type of guy. He's more loyal than Sanji. Sanji would cheat on his girlfriend for sure, dude. Sanji's a cheater 100%. Dude, Sanji has so much lust, there's no way he would be faithful. Like, you really think someone as lustful as Sanji would be able to restrain himself when he sees another woman? No way, dude. Your Majesty, I apologize for breaking up the fun, but riders from a gang are closing in from the port. The corpsmen in the area are badly outnumbered. The reinforcements we dispatched from the castle probably won't make it in time. Who are they after? They're calling for Queen Candle. She is currently at the opera house in town. Wait, or what? Could it be the Moron family? The Moron family. Yes, they've been after Candle for ages. Why did they even land on our shores? Send out a message to Candle to not leave the opera house. All the snails at the opera house are on do not disturb. Brook, you have to do something. They're going to take Mama away. The Morin family? That's strange. I met them at the harbor today. Opera Avenue. Bang, bang. Gang Riders. Oh, that guy looks cool. You guys see the dude on page 14 with the scar on his face? Looks kind of cool. Opera House. Dude, people really sit there and listen to opera. These guys. Isn't all opera like the same thing? It sounds like an Elden Ring soundtrack. Sounds like I'm watching freaking Project Hail Mary. Skyrim OST. Sanji's a lustful guy who is only lustful till after they lose their virginity. Then they are loyal. What? That was such a wonderful performance. Come on out, Candle. Don Moron told us we can shoot you if you refuse. Today we settle it once and for all. You'll finally learn to love our boss, Candle. We must make sure the queen does not leave the theater. Yeah, bang. Brook, don't worry about it, my royal bro. Remember, our queen is strong. There's no chance they'll catch her. Anyways, it's a shame they didn't realize that when I ran into them at the port earlier. I already sliced them all down. What? Wait, is this one of those anime things? The guy like cuts the people and then they walk for 5 minutes and then like a delayed wound. Is that what just happened? Dude, that is ridiculous. It's a shame they didn't realize that when I ran into them at the port earlier, I already sliced them down. So you cut them like 2 hours ago. They kept walking. Bro. Oda, what the hell? What the hell is this? Huh? Don't tell me these guys were already cut down. That means that Captain Brook's swift slash. It was the 3-pace hum notch slash. Over 70 years ago, there were two massive stars in the kingdom. Hold on. Of Asperia. One was the former commander of the Royal Guard Corps and the current Queen Candle. Hee, it's so lively. The other, though his music was widely disliked, would slash the target so swiftly they never even noticed they'd been cut. He's a master of the swift slash, the captain of the Battle Raiders, humming Brook, Queen of Asperia, Kingdom of Asperia, Queen Candle. At this time, the kingdom was at peace. And that's the chapter 1183. Which, by the way, her outfit definitely rings alarms of Holy Knights. Are we in agreement here, chat? Massive Brook speed feat. True. You were right on Discord. Guys, is Queen Candle's outfit not reminiscent of a Holy Knight? Specifically Shamrock. Does Shamrock not wear a shirt similar to that? I don't even know how to explain it or describe it. Like the puffiness in the center? Or was that Young Garling? Everyone who made it this far into the stream, guys, do all that YouTube stuff. Don't be stingy. Help out your boy. I love you. You love me. We're one big happy family with a knick-knack paddywhack. You're going to like the stream. You're going to subscribe. You're going to hit the notification bell. You guys are going to go above and beyond. Stream elements at the top of the stream chat so I don't end up homeless. God bless you guys. Love you guys greatly. Everyone here is a beautiful, amazing person. Oh, shoot. I almost ended the stream. I clicked end stream on accident. Join stream open mic. Now, guys, we will be enabling the stream open mic soon. I'm thinking in like 15 minutes. If anyone wants to come on stream and talk to me in voice with your comments, questions, theories, concerns, I have the StreamYard link in the chat. Liking because of Barney reference. Thank you. I love you. You love me. We're one big happy family. With Craw and Eli and Jordan too. Will of Dream is joining too. We have Paint and Smokey. And we have a Bigna too. Will of Dozan. Is that the new theory? Guys, is that what our new theory is? Dozan. 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 The will of Dozan. First of all, what the hell is Dozan? Dozan. Currently, chat, I'm thinking with my noggin. I'm thinking really hard. I'm thinking strategically that the will of D doesn't stand for a word. Now, what do we have here? We have, see him. We got D clan. I would like to see this in one of two camps. Word. You guys see this all the time. Yo, I got a theory, bro. Yo, Smokey, I got a theory, bro. I got a theory. Yo, the D stands for dream. You know why? Because all the D clan members, they have dreams, bro. But wait a second. Do you think it's only D clan members that have dreams? Surely you believe non-D clan members have dreams, don't you? So why would D stand for dream? Because all the D clan members have dreams. If non-D clan members have dreams, is the argument that, oh, well, the D clan member, you definitely have a dream. That's what it is. Like, D means dream. I don't know. That seems a little inconsistent to me. Or you'll see people say, no, bro, it's not dream, bro. It's destiny. Wait, what happened? Why can't I draw? Let me draw. Oh, did the app freeze? Hold on, guys. We got some technical difficulties. Dude. Hold on, guys. Why are the apps acting up? Dude, you got to be kidding me. Wasn't there a fisherman who was allied with Hody Jones? His name was Dozan as well. Was it? Actually, I don't even see anyone. I just said, actually. Nerd. I looked up Dozan on the One Piece wiki and nothing popped up. So hold on, guys. Hold your horses. Dude, what's wrong with this PC? I can't even use the search bar. Hold on, guys. Exactly. Dozan is said right after he said Joy Boy. Why would he say his Did you mean epithet? Then say his real name. It kind of makes sense. Hold on. I'm trying to get Paint 3D to open again. My PC isn't even... It's not even letting me use the search bar. So how do I even do anything? Hold on, guys. I can't even use the Windows button. What the hell is this? One second. What's wrong with this, dude? His name was Dozan. You know, like one of the worst things too is anytime they're gonna have like a word or a name that starts with a D, you know, everyone's gonna flock to it. They're gonna be, oh, bro, D-Clan. Yo, Davey, yo, that's what D stands for. Wait, so his name wasn't Rox D. Zebek. His name was Davey D. Zebek. But doesn't D stand for Davey, according to people's view? So his name is Davey Zebek? I mean, I guess that's possible, but who the hell believes that? It's wacky. Seems a little wacky and absurd to me. Chat, hold on. This is pissing me off. For some reason, this PC won't open 3D Paint anymore. Runtime broker. What does that mean? 1 second, chat. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. I'm trying to use 3D Paint and it won't even open. You know what? You know what? Let me delete this. Let me open this. Let me lock this. Okay. Let's try it this way. Check this Discord DM I sent you. I was thinking of Do Sun. Okay, hold on. Okay. Nice. We're going to use this for now on. Let's see. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this well. Why is this side over here so big? So usually, chat, when people talk about the D-Clan, it's split into two camps, right? Either people will say that hold on, let's do this. Select the layer. Either people will say the D clan, right, is no, not the D clam, the D clam. They'll say it's a word, or what I propose to you guys, which we will get to shortly, symbol. Now, what do people usually say for this? They pick a word that starts with D. Then they have it watered down as much as possible. So what will they say? Oh, D stands for dream, dude. But wait a second. There's plenty of One Piece characters that are not D clan members that have dreams. And also, what's so important about a dream anyways? Don't we need the right dream? What if it's Emu's dream to grape all the little kids? Huh? What if it's Emu's dream to enslave people? You can't say anything because that's Emu's dream. Why are you going to overstep Emu's dream? So clearly there would have to be a standard to dreams. So you would have to move the goalpost. You would have to say, oh no, well, good dreams. Yeah. D clan is D for dream because they have good dreams. But I don't think Blackbeard has a good dream. So I don't think the idea of it being dream is as strong as people like to make it seem. Or people say destiny. Yeah, D clan, it stands for destiny because like all the D clan members, like they got a destiny, bro. But everyone has a destiny. Like it's probably my destiny to, I don't know, read a book. Like a destiny doesn't have to be like this whole grand world-changing thing. Destiny is like things that are set in stone, like predestined to happen in life. Right? It was Spandam's destiny to grab Robin by the hair at Ennie's lobby. What do we do with that information? Right? What's another one? Demon. Yeah, demon's another one. How do I've never used this before. This is Photopia. I've never used this before. This is new to me. Hold on, boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen. Give me 1 second. Let me fix this over here. Where's the lock button? Oh, there we go. Now we're gonna go over here. Okay, 1 moment, guys. Hold your horsies. Or let's see, demon, right? That's another one, right? People will say, "Oh well." Oh shoot, no. Okay, people will say, "No, bro, you're both wrong. It's not dreaming. It's not destiny." Yo, dude, D stands for demon. Okay, well, if D stands for demon, wouldn't you argue that the celestial dragons are the actual demons? Don't people say like, oh yeah, Emu's the devil, the celestial dragons are evil? Don't people usually ascertain the celestial dragons as being the evil ones, ascertain them as being the devils, the demons? So, and a lot of people, this doesn't necessarily work for me, but I'm sure this works for a lot of other people's views, right? Some people would even argue that demon depends on your perspective, right? So to some people, to the pirates, celestial dragons are demons. But from the celestial dragons, the pirates are demons. But from the Marines' point of view, the pirates are demons. But then from Garp's point of view, the celestial dragons are demons. Notice how all of those are applicable. And I said pirate, celestial dragon, marine. I didn't even say D-clan. You see? So my point is that demon, if left undefined, or if left too broad, if the sweep is too wide, it actually gets reduced into something very relative, something arbitrary, right? Like, why would demon be how I see demon to be? What if you see demon in a different way? What if Oda sees demon in a different way? Don't you see how that's arbitrary? And what I would propose is that the D clan chat right here, D clan, that everyone is talking about, thinking it stands for some type of word that starts with a D. My argument is that the D clan doesn't stand for anything. It is a symbol. It is a symbol of a half moon. When you split the moon in half, you get the symbol of D. And what do we see within the Elbaf mural chat? We see, let me actually pull it up for you guys. Elbaf mural. Elbaf. You guys loving the Elbaf arc? I am. So what do we see here in the third world? Shout out to all my third worlders in the chat. I know my boy Smokey's a third worlder. It says, the third world, within the chaos there was emptiness. The inconvenient remnants recall the promised day and hear the voice of the half moon. Oh, wait. So there's a half moon and it has a voice. Don't people have voices? What's the word when you give human elements to something that is not a human, like an object? It has a... No, it's like you anthropomorphize. Thank you. So is this just mere anthropomorphizing here? Is that what's going on? Or is it a person? The inconvenient remnants, D-Clan, the inconvenient remnants recalled a promised day, a prophecy, a promised day, and hear the voice of the half moon, right? This is starting to sound like D-Clan personification as well. This is starting to sound like something similar to the concept of prophecies in One Piece, Sun God Nika coming back, the D-Clan reuniting. But notice how this didn't have to stand for anything. It doesn't have to stand for any word. So what is my argument here? My argument here is that it is entirely possible and even plausible that Oda instituted this whole... Hold on. Let me turn the brush on. Oda instituted this idea of a D-Clan, knowing that readers are going to try to find words that start with the letter D. Dream, destiny, demon, drum, dummy, donate. I'm just kidding. Just all these words that start with D, and then you just water it down because that's the only way to find a similarity between all these characters with D. I mean, like, think about it. Law, Robin, or not Robin, Law, Luffy, Jaguar, Blackbeard. What the hell do they have in common? Good luck finding something that's not just super watered down, like, oh, they have a dream. It's like we already established earlier how that's too wide sweeping, right? It's too wide sweeping for its own good. So what is the argument here? Oda wants the reader to think it's a word that starts with D, when in reality it's just a symbol. Over time, the One Piece world started calling it the D-Clan, D, because it lost its meaning over the course of 1,000 years. They forgot it was half moon people. When they see this half moon, they think, oh, D, the D-Clan, the half moon people, the D people. D. They think it's a letter, but it's a symbol. That's my argument. So I'm thinking D-Clan is a symbol of a half moon. It's like, for an example, like, let's say instead of D-Clan, right? Let me give you guys a perfect example of what I'm trying to say. Let's say instead of D clan, this whole time it was the O clan. One Piece fans would be finding all types of words that start with an O. But it could be the symbol of a sun the whole time. From one perspective, you look at this symbol and you think, oh, it's O, as in like octopus. Oh, maybe O stands for octopus because like octopuses have 8 arms and like every O clan member has 8 abilities, 8 attacks, like something, I don't know, something wacky. When in reality, this symbol is not to symbolize a letter per se, but to symbolize an icon. It is an icon. And what is this icon? It's the sun. But in this case, it's not the O clan, it's the D clan. And I would argue that D doesn't stand for dream, destiny, demon, drum, I don't know, whatever. It stands for a symbol. That's my thoughts on this. All the D's are willing to die for their and their loved ones' dreams except Blackbeard. That's how we knew he was a fake D and revealed to be a Davy. Firstly, we don't know that Blackbeard is a fake D. How do we know that? Secondly, I would argue to the contrary. Zebek himself, who is portrayed to be a D clan member, calls Teach Blackbeard his son. Just because his real name wasn't Rocks, it's actually Davy, doesn't mean he's not a D clan member. Crawl with the $5. God bless your soul. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much for the super chat. We are now switching to open mic. Anyone that wants to join the stream and send me your comments, questions, theories, concerns, debate me on One Piece, debate me power scaling, geopolitics, philosophy, religion. Come chat with me live on stream in front of everybody. If you think I'm dumb, my arguments are fallacious, whatever it is, come prove to the stream how dumb I am. All right, we're taking open callers. The floor is yours. I will let you guys speak to your heart's content. As long as you're fair, I can't let you talk for like 6 hours straight. But let's introduce Young Smokey.
Yo, what is up?
What is going on, bro?
I was just thinking about what you were saying, man, and it fits so logically together because, like, a capital D in our alphabet is literally just a half moon if you look at the moon phases in the sky. So, like, symbol confirmed. It literally might not be a word. It's definitely a symbol. And
Yeah,
we
and I
hear
mean,
of the half moon in the third world, even more reinforcement.
because if I asked you, Young Smokey, we got let me scroll down. We got, again, as you said, in the mural, Third World, chapter 1138, guys. Go to chapter 1138, the Elbaf mural. Look at the Third World. They have text about the half moon. Now, chat, if you had a half moon, not a quarter moon, not 3/4 moon, not a crescent moon, a half moon, if they had a symbol, if the half moon had a symbol, wouldn't it look like this?
Yep.
What does that look like?
And I agree. That's what I was saying. I see your point.
And thank you, Abigna, 500. God bless you, bro. Thank you so much. Along with you, Craw. Thank you, bro. D stands for do, just like K stands for coup. Wait, what? D stands for...
I can't refute that. I can't refute it.
Wait, what does he mean K stands for coup? Coup?
Just a different way to spell cool with a K.
Cool. I feel embarrassed because I don't know what he's saying.
It reminds me of Cartman. Oh no, the guys won't think I'm cute.
South Park.
Yeah.
Dude, I must have watched like 200 episodes of that on the plane.
Nice.
Yo, we got Craw. Got Craw on the call.
Yo, what up?
Hey, Craw is a huge OG.
What's up?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
Nothing much, man. How you been?
Doing great, man. Just trying to roast some theories right now. I'm trying to piss some people off.
It's been a
Who's my
minute.
next victim? That's okay. I got the worst theories. Hey, so did you read the chapter, Kron?
Actually, no, not yet, bro. Been busy lately. I haven't got a chance to read it yet.
My boy, you have to read it.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts, Smokey?
I want to give Oda props for finally putting out a female that doesn't look like Nami. Thank you, Oda. Queen Candle, no notes.
Bro, I saw fan art and I thought it was real of Brooke. And I thought, like, you got to be joking. Why does he look like Nami? Why does he look like every freaking girl in One Piece? Oh, Ku Klux. Okay, the Do Ducks clan. The DDD clan. Stan, God bless, bro. But no, I'm right there with you. Brooke not looking like Nami and Vivi and Shirahoshi, Rebecca. Dude, it's like a laundry list. It's like a receipt. It's like a Family Dollar receipt. Like a Walmart receipt.
Oda can't help himself when it comes to Nami, man. Throw out all logic.
So what else do you think about this chapter? What else is running through your mind?
Was Dozon written in katakana or hiragana?
I have
or
no
whatever
clue.
the other one.
Now, don't get me wrong. I do want to look into Dozan, so let's do that. What
Because
is Dozan?
my two schools of thought when I first saw the chapter and I first saw the name was, is he talking about killing the previous god of war? Or is he talking about killing perhaps the previous earth god or force god?
Yeah, that you actually raise a good point. We should pull up 1182 so then we can see the pacing of the conversation. Hold on. Because I think it was Nomad. They were saying that due to what Emu was talking about, he must be referring to Joy Boy, unless I misunderstood Nomad.
Okay, that would be kind of crazy if Emu, instead of calling him Joy Boy, had another name for him, like Dozon.
Let me see. Where is it? Okay, got 1182 pulled up. Cannot put it on screen. To think that I would see thee again in the world, traitor, talking to Loki, I guess. Nidhogg. But he says Nidhogg, so it's not like Loki came back. It's Nidhogg that comes back. So that's an important distinction.
Yes.
God of War's name is Elbaf. Dozan could be Joy Boy.
I mean, if Elbaf is the D, I could see it that way.
This is going to be an important distinction because even I would even go as far as to say that he's not even talking about the God of War. In 1182, he says, presence is still there, blah, blah, blah. Nidhogg, to think that I'd see you again in this world, traitor. So he's saying Nidhogg is a traitor. He's referring to the fruit, but he says Nidhogg. That's what's interesting. Like we know that Loki is quote unquote in quotations is Nidhogg, but that's by devil fruit, right? He ate a devil fruit to be Nidhogg, but maybe speaks as if like Nidhogg's like a person. He's like, oh, Nidhogg, you traitor.
Maybe Emu has a special ability, right? Like if I was working off the theory that he was the progenitor of devil fruits, perhaps he can actually see into the devil fruit, the dream, the soul of the fruit, the will of the fruit. Maybe he can actually communicate with the fruits. Maybe he's speaking directly towards Loki's fruit.
He then goes on to say in 1182, snow on indeed, lightning caused by an impact with ice. Thy affinity for one another was always great. Ragnir, so thou stayed as thou were in days past, waiting for a new master to come along. I think it was King J, probably other people as well. Weren't they arguing that Ragnir, how do I say this? The fruit Ratatoskur was with the hammer the whole time.
Yeah, that was King J.
was saying that.
I remember. Yeah, I remember that King J was saying that.
So in the official translations, it seems point blank clear. I remember the fan translations didn't necessarily make it clear like that. He's basically
Also,
saying you stayed as you were in days past. Wait, as you were in days past, waiting for a new master to come along. So he's saying like you, Ratatoskur, Ragnir, I guess, you were Squirrel Hammer this whole time. You stayed as you were. It's not like they separated. They were together. They were never separated. Go ahead.
Right.
How familiar that site is. Okay. So they're fighting in 1182. Then it gets interrupted for Sanji. Then it's Summers. And it's Gerd. Then it's Summers again. Keatingham. Okay. So then we go to 1183. Ragnir, thou hast waited all this time for a capable bringing vengeance upon Emu. Isn't that so? Ragnir, you waited all this time for one capable of bringing vengeance upon Emu. Is that not so? Notice how vengeance, key word here, vengeance. Ragnir wants vengeance against Emu.
Every time you say
Ragnir,
vengeance, I think of V for Vendetta and I think of Batman. I am vengeance. I am the night.
That's the key word. If you and I never interacted together, how would you desire vengeance against me?
Yeah, that'd be kind of crazy. I just hate you for no reason.
So they clearly had an issue in the past, and this caused Ragnir to stay as a Squirrel Hammer, waiting for someone worthy enough to take down Emu. So we're
would that
getting a little bit of
indicate for
context
sure
here.
that Emu has killed a god of war? Since Ragnir serves the god of war, correct?
I guess so. Can we see that for certainty that Ragnir serves God of War?
Well, if we take the context and the clues, I can't say it for certainty, but it sure damn looks like it.
King J said, what if Emu calls everyone by their fruit name because he himself is a fruit? He's weak in the outside world because a shadow ate devil fruit to become Emu. I'm curious what his fruit would be because he clearly has a body. Is that because he has his own? Like he has eyeballs, right? And fingernails.
Yeah.
A shadow does.
I mean, and when he coughs, the blood's there, and the blood's red.
That as well. King J confirms what you said, or doubles down. He said, Smokey's right. Emu probably killed God of War. Squeak, squeak. What is he rambling about? I've never seen someone so resilient. Loki, Straw Hat, Luffy. Neither of you could ever be Mu's soldiers. Emu will erase thee. So now he's bringing up Luffy. Okay, we got to be careful, chat. We got to be meticulous here. He talks about Nidhogg, the very beginning of this, 1182. He's talking about Nidhogg.
He talks about Loki next, and then he talks about Luffy last.
Yeah, Nidhogg. Then he goes to Ragnir. Then he brings up Luffy.
Joy Boy.
Loki, Straw Hat, Luffy, neither of you could ever be Mu's soldiers. Mu will erase thee, just like Dozan.
Sounds like Emu's still a little salty. The Domi Reversey didn't work.
Yeah, of course.
He's so used to having everything
go his way. He's used to having everything go his way. Now, if I could play devil's advocate, right? Emu says just like Dozan, but think about that. Emu says Emu will erase thee. Emu will erase you, right? Mu will erase you just like Dozan. Is that because Dozan erased you in the past? Or is he saying, oh, well, I erased Dozan in the past? You see what I mean?
Yeah, so I think it's the second thing you said. I think Emu erased him in the past.
Dozan.
Like
Yeah,
I
but
think I
it's
think the curious thing is like the curious thing to me is how old is Emu? Does Emu stretch back to the second world, or does he go all the way to the first? That's what I want to figure out. Is
that's
how
actually
far
a
does
good
Emu go
question.
back?
That's a good question, but like I obviously understand the sentiment, like just like Dozan, like yeah, I'm gonna erase you guys, and I erased Dozan. Dozan, maybe that's Joy Boy's name. I understand the whole sentiment, but it is kind of funny based off the TCB. It technically could be that Dozan erased you guys in the past, but the problem here, the hiccup with that is that hold on, let me pull up the words exactly. The hiccup with that is he said he doesn't say Joy Boy or even Ragnar or Nidhogg. He says
Yeah,
Loki and Luffy.
yeah,
So
that is kind of crazy too.
it would seem strange or even impossible that he meant just like Dozan did, right? Like Dozan erased. Well, no, that's not possible because Loki and Luffy were never erased by Dozan. So it seems to rule that out, that when he says just like Dozan, he doesn't mean that Dozan erased people in the past. It means that he erased someone named Dozan or something named Dozan.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a something. It might not be a someone.
I would actually I would rule out that when he says just like Dozan, I would rule out that he's saying Dozan erased people in the past.
Okay,
Because
I got it.
he's saying Loki and Luffy. He's not saying like Joy Boy and Nidhogg.
Which is out of character for him, because like how many times has he referred to them not as their ancient names? Joy
Not
Boy,
much.
Nika, Nidhogger, Ragnar, or Ratatoaster. I'm pretty sure Emus called him Ratatoaster.
I think so. But can you guys send me the chapter where the officials named the God of War Elbaf? Because I remember that a few chapters ago, but I want to go double check. I want to go look at it again. Emu almost always addresses Luffy as Nika. For the first time, he called him Luffy here. That's because both Luffy and Dozan Joy Boy are Nika, so he couldn't call Luffy Nika in that sentence.
I think King J opens up a possibility.
So
Like
King
I'm gonna be
J,
honest, I can't say nothing for sure right now. For me, I want to wait for the officials for this.
King J, yeah, it would definitely be good to wait for the officials. But King J, I understand where you're coming from on that point, and I don't even necessarily disagree. But the way that I would tackle this is he's saying Loki, Straw Hat Luffy, neither of you guys can ever be Mu soldiers. He's not. He want Oda and Emu. Well, let's say Oda, right? Oda is illustrating current people. Loki and Straw Hat Luffy. If Oda said like Loki and Nika, there's a possibility he could be referring to the original Nika, like the Nika of the past. But when he specifically says Luffy, it's pointing to a specific individual right now, right? And then he goes on to say, just like Dozan, because if he used Nika, then it could be interpreted as, okay, did he take out Nika in the past like Dozan? Is Nika not Dozan? See, so it changes the direction of the conversation a bit if he says Nika rather than Luffy. So I think it's actually, for Oda's goal here, I think it's necessary that he says Luffy. He needs to point to this individual right here. Nika, as you said, it's too broad. It would be like a tangled mess of a conversation if he says Nika. I probably didn't explain that very well, but
I
what do you
mean,
think?
I mean, I would have to agree with what you're saying, right? But Here's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking what you're saying, but what I'm saying is like when you're saying like, did I explain that right? Like, I think that's gonna be a thing with time. I think in time your explanation will get a lot clearer and easier to digest. You get what I'm saying?
Now I'm totally okay with that, but we're definitely going to need these official translations.
Exactly.
And I mean, I'm sure you're going to feel the same way of what I'm about to say, but chat, I'm not shooting down theories and talking about 1183. Of course, let's all talk about Dozan. Let's all talk about this conversation in this chapter. Of course, we should all blast out theories, blast out takes, but just consider, take it with a grain of salt, guys, that we definitely need the official translation. So keep that in mind.
I've had
Talk about the
non
TCB, but it's TCB, not official.
I've had TCB and OP scans ruin theories of mine in the past simply because I didn't wait for the translation. And it gives a completely different mood, tone, or dialogue to what the character is saying sometimes. So TCB is very good, but they don't always hit with 100%. Like every chapter, they at least get one thing mistranslated.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. But guys, I'm looking at Dozan online and I'm not seeing anything. The majority of the stuff that's popping up is about One Piece. Dozan.
Oda got the Google algorithm on lock. He said, "Look at One Piece, y'all."
Dude, it might even be a thing where he like made up the name. He was just like, Dozan, that sounds cool. Yeah, let's use that.
Does Dozan have like any like musical elements to it, like rhythmic, anything like that?
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
sure,
like,
but...
I'm agreeing with you. Like, Oda could have created the word, or he could be using the name as a sound effect, like an onomatopoeia with Zaza in the rain.
Zaza. I mean, Dozan being from music, that actually would make sense. I want to point this out really quick. This guy named Meyer, Emu mentioned the name Dozan alongside Nika and Nidhogg. After research, there was a powerful Japanese pseudolord named Saito Dosan. He's known as one of Japan's 3 great villains. I believe that it's the name of a god in the first world. Well, I don't know how he jumps from that to that, though. Actually, let me just Google this myself. Saito Dosan.
So this guy was what? One of the 3 greatest villains of Japan?
Yeah, he was a Japanese samurai lord and daimyo during the Sengoku period. He was known as the Viper of Mino for his ruthless tactics. He was appointed as governor of Yamashiro by the imperial court after entering monkhood in his later years. He was also called Saito Yamashiro Nyodo no Kami.
Nice.
He has a historical reputation as one of Japan's 3 great villains, a nickname which he shared with Matsunaga Shishade and Ukita Naoe due to their ambitious and treasonous personality, along with the habit of resorting to underhanded tactics and assassinations to eliminate their opposition.
These guys weren't playing games then.
No, clearly not. But
by the way, the Sengoku period is before the Meiji, right? After the Sengoku, it goes into the Meiji era in Japan.
I have no clue, bro. I'm not too versed in Japanese history. You're going to know more than me on that. Several years later, rumors started to circulate that Dozan's firstborn son, Saito Yoshitatsu, was not his natural son, and Dozan started to consider another son, Saito Keiji, or even his son-in-law, Oda Nobunaga.
There we go.
Chat, Oda's the son of Dozan. No way.
Oda been hanging out for centuries. He found the trick.
He did. Could you imagine we were reading this and it says Dozan had a son named Mihawk?
Oh, brother.
Bro, you would have a stroke.
I already feel like I'm having a stroke.
I don't know, man. I feel like this is there more juice to this? I don't know, man.
So I would suspect there is more juice, but I just don't. I personally wouldn't be able to find it right now because I'm still stuck on what we're looking at. You feel me?
What do you mean?
Like my brain is still trying to digest Dozon. Who are you? Where are you
Those
from?
Who are you? Who are
Where are
you?
you from? Do you like bongs? Do they make bongs where you're from?
Probably. They were a country of freedom. Just like Dozan. So, all right, I want to ask you, Smokey, and ask the chat. I want to get a feel of the waters right now. This is to Smokey, and this is to the text chat. All right, gun to your head. Is Dozan when Emu's saying just like Dozan, is he referring to the D clan, or is he referring to the infamous Joy Boy?
Mm.
Gun to your head, and you have to pick one.
Gun to my head.
Both.
Okay.
Or I guess third option, both. Is he talking about the original infamous Joy Boy, or is he talking about the D clan, or is it both of them?
Well, if we go with your symbol theory earlier, right? The D being a half moon, then I would have to say gun to my head, both. That would be my choice.
And why is that?
Simply because Dozan starts with a D, and the D is the symbol for the half moon.
Okay, fair enough. He said, after 5 minutes, I'll send you an explanation revealing who Dozan is and where that word came from. Ask Smokey to stay online too. Wait 5 minutes, brother. No problem, King J. And King J, just a heads up, I might want to knock out a few of the chats because usually when I read your message, I want to dive deep into it. So I'll probably want to knock out a bunch of the chats, then I'll read your message.
Yeah.
That way,
if you send it to him, or you send it to me as well, I'll look into it as well.
Yeah, send it to Smokey if you can. Just forward it. Nomad says, because you said sentence he knows Luffy is the Joy Boy reincarnate through the fruit, so is Dozan. He was the previous Nidhogg, since that's who he's talking to. Wait. Because you said sentence he knows Luffy is the Joy Boy reincarnated through the fruit. So is Dozan, he was the previous Nidhogg, since that's who he is talking to. Wait, are you saying Dozan is Joy Boy or is it Nidhogg?
I think he's trying to go the other way, right? So for me, like I feel like there's 3 answers here: a previous God of War, Joy Boy, and the D Clan. You asked me, gun to my head, I would say I said both of them for 2 of those answers. But if you throw in the God of War, that completely changes what I might pick.
I thought are we not believing that Elbaf is God of War?
Yeah, so those officials you asked for, if somebody could give those to us, that would be a great help. Because I vaguely remember what you're saying.
King J or someone else in chat, can you guys show me what chapter it was or which chapter it was where the officials pretty much confirm that quote unquote Elbaf is the name of the God of War? King J, I know you're working on that post, but if you could show me that, I'd really appreciate it. So Dozan, is it 1 Joy Boy?
By the way, I like the little chalkboard presentation. We should have been done this weeks ago. Like when the mural came out, we should have had this. This would have been helpful for the mural.
Yeah, actually. Well, you know what? Now we have it. So if we ever have another chat about the mural, we could whip this bad boy out.
That's almost inevitable. Talking about the mural is unavoidable at this point.
Yeah, dude, there's just so much to talk about, given that there's 3 worlds and art
The craziest thing is every time I look at the mural, I see something different. Where I even contradict myself. I'll look at the mural one day and be like, "Oh, I think it's this." And then the next day I'll be like, "Nah, that can't be that."
Okay, Elbaf name and DMs. Thank you so much, King J. Appreciate it, bro.
By
All
the
right,
way,
Smokey, let's
shout
check
out
this out.
King J for typing out the text spoilers this week. He generally does it, but the text spoilers for the long summary came out in a super weird way. Not normal since all that pressure from a few weeks ago on the leakers.
Man, Chad, we gotta pray for the leakers. And hold on, dude. Discord is not opening on web. Oh my gosh. Hold on 1 second. And thank you to guys. I want to give a shout out and a big thanks to Smokey as well, because Smokey has been posting the chapter links and spoilers and hints very fast as well. Okay, thank you so much, King J. Let me put this on the screen. We can see, bro. I have a confession. Dory, Broggy, I keep mixing up their names, bro.
I've heard people call Dory and Broggy Dookie and Boogie
Dookie,
and Boogie.
Dookie, and Boogie. This is the judgment of Elbaf, the god of war. Dang, it's just kind of like flat out. It's hard to deny this.
I agree.
What chapter was this, King J? Do you know?
If I had to guess, I would say somewhere between 1176 and this chapter.
I feel like this is Little Garden, don't you think? Is that like the skull of Little Garden behind him? I think this is Little Garden. I thought it was a recent chapter that like
Oh wait,
implied.
that does give Little Garden vibes right there. Yeah, it does.
My thing is, this doesn't necessarily disrupt anything, but I wonder. Let me actually add another layer. I actually wonder when it comes to the name Elbaf.
Yep.
Is that originally the island and it went to the name of the god? Or did they have a god named Elbaf and then they named the island after the god? This doesn't
Oh,
necessarily disrupt anything or have it's not really a problem, but I'm just curious.
it's a logistic thing though. It would definitely help us figure out the logistics if we knew, you know.
One thing to consider is these guys worship Nika. So I feel like Oda's going in the direction that Elbaf is ancient. So at least
Yeah.
that's one detail to work with. Like they were already worshiping Nika. Do we
I mean,
feel that
also,
Nika predates the God of War?
So in the first world from the mural, I know that the sun god and the earth god fought for sure in that era. We also have a panel of when they bring up now King J could find this because me and him we've been throwing jabs back and forth about the God of War and Nika. And he can find a panel that shows like the God of War like bracing up and Nika's in the air. But that might be Joy Boy at the same time.
Wait,
King
you
J
said
has a
you said what
clear
was in
panel
the
of that.
air?
Nika or Joy Boy. One of the two. Basically, one of the gods. Basically, I'm saying the God of War and the Sun God have fought before. I guess if this makes any sense, King J can clarify this
What
if
within
he
the
sends me the panel.
is there a figure in the Harley text that we can point to as being the God of War? Who here is the God of War?
Mm. Let me zoom in.
I don't think the Serpent of Hellfire is Loki or Nidhogg.
I agree. I agree with that. Hmm. Let's see. In chaos, there was emptiness, inconvenient remnants. The sun god dances and laughs, guiding the world to its end. Hmm.
Island Elbaf to me is more like Shaban the Ark or Boyne. What do you mean Boyne Ark? A huge plant that people live on with some earth on it.
Oh, is he saying it's kind of like the Boyan Islands where Usopp went?
Oh, is that what
Is
they're
that
called?
where Usopp went? The Boyan Islands?
I don't know what they're called. Jordan said Nidhogg and War God aren't depicted on the Harley text, like how Pluton isn't either. This depends on how you read it. Either him calling the god of war Elbaf or calling whoever the god of war is the judgment of Elbaf.
Hmm.
Wait, what? Calling the god of war Elbaf or calling whoever the god of war is the judgment of Elbaf. Oh, I think I see what you mean on the latter part. It took me a second. Or calling the god of war is the judgment of Elbaf. So he would be saying, "This is the judgment of Elbaf, the god of war." I don't think he's saying it in that way. I think it's the former. He's saying, "This is the judgment of Elbaf, the god of war," rather than "This is the judgment of Elbaf, the god of war." Kind of like he's speaking to the god of war. I think like that is a more probably to me at least. It's just my opinion, I guess. Less likely.
I think
Option.
I think I gotta agree with you there.
You think that he is referring to the judgment of Elbaf as the god of war?
Mm.
Like, this is the judgment of Elbaf, the god of war. Like he's calling the god of war Elbaf.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's that.
Versus like, this is a judgment of Elbaf, Luffy. Like he's talking to Luffy, right? Like
Yeah,
separating
exactly.
the two.
Exactly. Yeah, so yeah. I see where you're going with this.
Dean's Life says, "What's the dragon in the middle supposed to be?" I don't know. Right now, my main take is Nidhogg. What about you, Smokey?
The dragon in the middle hanging upside down. Yeah,
Yeah.
I always had that peg for Nidhogg. The Hell Serpent over at the other side, though, I've always had that peg for the Grand Line. I mean, not the Grand Line, the Red Line. The Red Line. The Red Line. Sorry.
The Red Line? That's a huge monster, bro.
Well, this is what I think
Planet
Loki's going to
size.
do at the end. I think Luffy will go after Emu, right? And then Loki will get distracted by a gigantic opponent.
Dude, that means... Okay, so if the Red Line is actually a serpent, that's a planet-sized enemy. Because the Red Line circles the whole planet.
Right. That is
Dude,
a massive enemy.
His enemy is the size of the planet. Bro, yo, just let that sink in if that is the case.
Well, I mean, we all right, so if we put like the Hellfire Serpent thing aside, like I would just look at like the Red Line as Jormungandr. And since Loki retains elements of Thor and Loki, the god of mischief, and he's a mixture of both, like that just gives me more cause to say, like, I could see Loki fighting this thing.
Would you guys believe, or do you guys believe that this figure on the left holding the Forbidden Sun is Emu?
Yeah, I think that's Emu.
Which, by the way, notice how on the first world it says mankind succumbed to greed and touched the Forbidden Sun. Then on the far left, this guy's holding the sun. Emu? Emu Shama?
Emu Goyim?
Emu Goyim. Emu Shapiro. Saint Emu, Saint Shlomo Emu.
Saint Emu Nerona Weinstein.
Weinstein's nuts, dude. BB Emu Yahoo. Emu Yahoo.
I like that one. I think that's my favorite name.
All right. Dude, this Dozan stuff has to be like the talk of the week, isn't it?
Yes. I think the other talk belongs to Brooke. Let's give Brooke his shine here. High
Okay.
IQ moment from a straw hat. Decided that, hey, she's got 3 personalities. I got to give Brooke credit for that one.
I didn't even notice that. I want to point out though, I think it was typical Joe because I think I was like scrolling through Twitter. I was like waiting for something. I think typical Joe, maybe it was someone else. They were saying that Asperia Kingdom looks exactly like Thriller Bark. And how interesting would it be that Brooke grew up on Asperia Kingdom, or at least spent a big part of his time at Asperia Kingdom, which we see right now. And then we find him in the beginning of the story. He's drifting the sea at Thriller Bark. Something going on there? Seems a little too convenient.
And you know what we say about conveniences. They come up all the time. Eventually, something's got to be right.
Yeah, and another thing, Gecko Moria, the ruler of Thriller Bark, was recently drawn into the story, you know, going after Blackbeard or whatever. Oda's going out of his way to give some shine, some attention to Gecko Moria. But if Asperia Kingdom really is Thriller Bark to whatever extent that might be, maybe then this arc, or this flashback at least, results in us seeing how Gecko Moria exactly got the land, the true events of that. Again, bringing attention to Gecko Moria. And then that would explain like why Brooke, you know, managed to wind back up near Thriller Bark. I mean, like, didn't Brooke say like he lost a shadow, so then he went on? Is that what he said? He went on to Thriller Bark trying to get his shadow. Is that what happened?
Yeah. So here's what I remember. Brooke said, "Hey, I lost my shadow." Then he went and tried to get it back, and he fought the Shadow Ryuma. He got beat, so he just stuck under the clouds of Thriller Bark so he wouldn't get erased by the sun. But I don't think it wasn't until, you remember when Frankie and Robin was fighting that monkey spider, and then
Yeah,
Brooke
that
came
was
down. I think
Thriller
that
Bark.
was the first, that, and the monkey said, "This is the first time we've seen you in like years and years and years." So it's not like Brooke was like, he was chilling in the water near Thriller Bark, but he wasn't chilling on Thriller Bark, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense?
No,
Am
it
I
does
saying
make
this
sense.
right? Okay.
Yeah. This is
This
totally off topic.
shit has my brain combobbled.
This is totally off topic. I wish I could put it on the screen, but in this new chapter 1183, page 13, you see like the outer, let's like a zoomed out Asperia Kingdom, Palace, Opera House, Port at the bottom of page 13. Seems to be this reoccurring theme in One Piece where islands are circular and like there's a castle like in the middle on like a circular hill. It seems to be like this. Dressrosa was the case. Water 7 reminds me of that being the case to an extent. You notice like this reoccurring theme where islands have like this hill, this circular hill, and then the castles up there.
Yeah. The castles are usually up on a hill. Yeah,
yeah, like a
that.
circular hill. I don't know if there's any significance to that. Maybe Oda just draws islands the same, but I don't know.
You said
maybe
page 13, right?
Yeah, page 13. So it's the page after Levin has his info box, the next page.
Okay. Hold on a second. I'm getting to Asperia Kingdom.
It's the page where he says, "I don't want a bride with a runny nose," at the bottom of that page.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking for it. I got stuck on Brooke doing the Nika pose. That caught my attention for a second.
Yeah. It's definitely surprising. Why Brooke though? That's twice now.
Brooke, a special guy. Respect the
twice in the story. I want to know why Brooke. Why Brooke twice in the story was in the Nika pose? We didn't have Robin in Nika pose. And obviously, I'm not saying that to insult Robin, but I mean, we never had Robin in the Nika pose as far as I know. Why Brooke twice in the story?
By the way, King J sent me over that thing.
Thank you so much, King J. We will get to that momentarily. Will the Dream said weird because one personality is the kid. Did Brooke ever, I think you meant to say no, Shuri as an adult. People change, not a new personality. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Like, is one like her personality after she changed, she lost the relationship with Brooke or something? But I don't know. I was not expecting a 3 personality thing.
So the key for me, and it's a typical celestial dragon thing. The key for me is Brooke saying, "You killed your father, my best friend." So
wait,
what
who killed
snapped
the father?
him? Remember, he was saying Gunko killed her father. That's why he was so mad at her.
Gunko killed her own father?
Yeah, her father, who was Brooke's best friend at the time.
Wait, dude, I did not remember that. Did I forget that already?
Did I just headcanon myself into? I swear to God, I swear to God, no. This shall not stand. I will find this.
No way, dude. I probably forgot about that point. We're gonna go ahead and read Smokey's message while you look for that. Oh, Dosun. Okay, I see what you mean. You sent me on Discord, Dosun. The fishman, ugly fishman.
Yeah, dude. But read King J's message.
Yep, we're gonna.
I'm sure he sent you with the theory that he sent me.
We're definitely gonna read that, but I want to point out, why does Hody Jones have like the ugliest subordinates? Oh my gosh, dude, they look terrible. Theory: Chopper is Dozan. Bro, I'm not reading this. What? Chopper is Dozan? Nah, bro. You should have just put that at the bottom, because now I'm not reading that, dude. Chopper? Bro is on that crack rock. Now I gotta put it on the screen. Dozan? Chopper? Oh my gosh. Is it chat? Who's Dozan? Is it Chopper? Is it Joy Boy? Is it the D Clan? Is it the God of War? I think I'd probably rule out God of War. Okay, let's check this out.
So this theory operates on the premise that the 2 fruits that he was talking about was Nidhogg and the other was the Forest God. He wasn't even considering Luffy's fruit at that time.
All right, theory: Chopper is Dozan. We have already seen that Chopper has the ability to undo Domi Reversi. We also know that Chopper doesn't have a complete human form. So there's a theory that he's the forest god, as in the mural. It said that the forest god can tame demons. But why is this connected to Dozan? I'll explain. Zebek said that he needs Elbaf fruit and another to counter Emu. We assumed it to be Nika fruit, but there's a panel that confirms Zebek doesn't know who Nika is. Proof: Zebek asks who Nika is several years after he talked about wanting 2 fruits. Here's the panel. Hey, Rox, I think you're Nika. Nika? The warrior of liberation who will destroy the world while laughing. Whoa. I'd never even.
And I remember Zebek said, if anybody is Nika, then it'd probably be your father. Right after this. I remember this. So I know where he's coming from here.
So I think Zebek didn't want to eat any fruit. He wanted Nidhogg for Herald and the mystery fruit for another ally of his. Luffy fulfilled that prophecy. The 2 fruits now went to Luffy's allies, Loki and Chopper. 1 fruit is Nidhogg and the other is Forest God. Proof: there was a historical Japanese physician named Dr. Manis Dosan, a famous Sengoku-era doctor. He's the person who revolutionized Japanese medicine and the most important doctor in Japanese culture. Because of this, in Japanese culture, the word dosan is used to mention ancient healer. Also in Japanese, do means way of. That's why Bushido means way of samurai. Similarly, dosan means way of scholar. Chopper is a scholar and forest god. Now, coming back to Emu's line, since I can't control you two guys, I'll kill you just like Dozan. Basically, he thinks only Nika and Nidhogg returned, but Forest God didn't return. That's why he killed off Dozan. Though dead, Nika and Nidhogg returned. Emu will soon learn that Dosan also returned. Wow.
All right, so instead of King J, we're just gonna call him Chopper Way.
Chopper Way. Yo, King J has a thing for furry animals. Maybe King J's a furry.
King J told me Carrot was the pinnacle of peakness one time.
Yeah, he told me that too. He DM'd you that too?
Maybe he did it later than he did you, but I do remember that.
Bro, he said he had a crush.
He said that rabbit can bite my carrot.
All jokes aside, this was actually way better than I thought it would go.
No, this is very solid, especially connecting it to the doctor in Japanese. If that is true, that is very interesting.
This is a whopper upscale. Okay. Smokey.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Chopper Gang. Forget Ragnar. We got our merch.
No. You're going too far. You're going too far now. All right. I think King J deserves it. Smokey, me and you, we always need to test the theory. We're going to put this theory under scrutiny and see if it passes.
All right, let's do it then.
Because if we can put this theory under real scrutiny and it passes the test, it deserves support.
Okay. So
what do you think?
The first way let's scrutinize this. Let's go actually look up the information on this doctor that he's talking about. Let's just verify that is true. We'll start there and then we can scrutinize it some more.
All right.
That would be my vote for what we should do. But if you have your own idea of scrutinizing this, then by all means, take the lead.
We can look at his point, address his points one by one, but starting from the beginning. But let's pull up Manis Dosan because I already have it right here. Manis Dosan was a Japanese physician and anatomist. Like he studies the anatomy of people, right? Dosan was born in Kyoto. He's trained to be a monk. However, his early years began studying medicine under Tashiro Sanki. He enrolled at Ashikaga School of Medicine. Okay, so this is a doctor.
Yes. So point for King J.
We can now establish, at least in the real world, one extra point to that being it's Japanese. I think Oda is going to be well versed in his own country. If I take a leap of faith on that, I think that's a fair assessment. That Dosan is connected to medicine and being a doctor.
Yes.
I mean, can we? Who here has an argument that Joy Boy was a doctor? Does anyone have an argument that the D Clan was doctors? It was a whole bunch of doctors. That's what the D Clan is. Probably not.
No, I would be thinking more of a Lost Island. You know, that island of doctors. If we're just talking straight up doctors, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
But even then, I think that would be disconnected from what we're seeing from the D Clan now.
Exactly.
Like, would he be referring to, like, I'm trying to take your idea and see like what that means for the theory. Would Emu be referencing Lost Island? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, it's possible, I guess. Anything's possible, but he published a textbook, worked as a doctor. Wait, did Chopper ever say he wanted to come out with a medical book? I know he wants to heal every disease or whatever, but did he ever say?
I don't think. So In my head canon, like I could definitely see Chopper wanting to pass his knowledge down one day and writing a book. But as far as like when it comes to medical books, the only thing I know for sure is that Chopper has read them all. He's studied almost everything he can read.
Yeah, I mean, in his intro, he had a whole bunch of textbooks in the background, if I remember.
Not only that, on the Sunny, he has his own medical library. You know,
That as well.
he's-
That as well. Dude, I need to pull up Discord on web because if I have to keep changing the screens like this, it's going to be quite a headache.
Yeah,
Hold on.
you want to know the craziest thing? I changed the screen over to Discord. So when I went back to StreamYard, I can't even see StreamYard, but I know I'm still here.
Oh, no.
They can't get rid of me that easily.
They can't.
We're here for the Robin supremacy.
One thing I want to also point out here. Let me see. Okay, so King J says Zebek said that he needs the Elba fruit and another fruit to counter Emu. I mean, I think that's a fair assessment. We assumed it to be Nika fruit, but there's a panel that confirms Zebek doesn't know who Nika fruit is or who Nika is. So King J's argument is that one of the fruits is not Nika because Zebek didn't know who Nika was. If Zebek needs two fruits and one of them's Nika, he would know about Nika. That's what the argument is. But didn't you, Smokey, didn't you say that you said something that like almost implied he knew who Nika was? What did you say something?
I said after, so you see that the panel that he provided, right? Nika, hey Rocks, I think you're Nika, the warrior of liberation who will destroy the world while laughing. After that, I think Zebek says, Nika, who's Nika? I don't know who Nika is, but if there is a Nika, then it would be your father.
I want to read that in context, but I would lean towards agreeing with King J. And I think this is an important point. King J is a very clever thinker. King J is very sharp because this is very important. This is something someone could eat. Even myself, you look over this and you miss the plot.
Yeah,
I've never seen anyone point out that, oh, dude, it's interesting that Zebek didn't know Nika. Like, I never saw anyone bring that up or point that out. But that's an important detail if this theory is true, if this line of thinking is correct, if this is what Oda's doing.
I have to agree. This is one of those subtle little marks that can either make or break a theory. And for now, it looks like I can't put a hole in this for now.
Because if you're talking about an important subject, I mean, important in the grand scheme of One Piece conversations, Zebek needing two different devil fruits. I mean, you got to talk about what fruits they are, right? And a lot of people would argue one of them is a Nika fruit. Well, how do you refute that, or how do you support that? I feel like your options are limited, but if you attack that through the point that Zebek didn't even know about Nika, didn't even know who Nika was, then that's actually a strong point. Because how would you be would he really be chasing the Nika fruit? Like, I need to get the Nika fruit. I know the Nika fruit's good to counter Emu, but who's Nika? Like that. What? He needs the fruit so that he can counter Emu. That implies and necessitates that he knows how the fruit works. So how would he know how the fruit works, but he doesn't know anything about Nika? Like,
and the craziest thing is that he's part of the Davy clan. So him not knowing about Nika is genuinely surprising to me.
Jinmarks, God bless you.
Because you figure like the D clan, of course, would know about Nika.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point to bring up because that drives the point even harder. Like, so he definitely doesn't know Nika then, huh? Like,
Yeah,
Even
he
though he
doesn't.
was a D-clan Davy, he still didn't know Nika. So I feel like you get my point. Like it drives it deeper that he really didn't know who Nika was.
Maybe Zebek skipped through that chapter in class. Maybe he slept through it.
I think the King J. I think I would agree with you on this point. If I were to flesh it out more, I would make it more clear to the reader. I would say that Zebek is targeting 2 fruits to counter Emu, yes, but this necessitates that he knows how those fruits are. He knows how those fruits work. Right? Like, why would he? I need to counter Emu. Counter, right? Underline. I need to counter Emu. Well, that means I need this one fruit. Well, how do you know you need that one fruit to counter Emu if you don't know about that one fruit? So I feel like if you make that more clear, I think it emphasizes that he doesn't really know Nika, and it's probably not the fruit that he was looking for on Elbaf. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I think I'm with King J as well. Like I think when you present it this way, it's really hard to refute anything other than the conclusion he's trying to draw here.
So if we skip towards the end of King J's theory, so the 2 fruits that Zebek wanted, we'll just say his 2 fruits, even though he didn't eat the fruits. Zebek's 2 fruits. So one would be Dozan, which would be Forest God.
Mm.
And then the second would be Nidhogg, right? Wait, are we sure on that?
Wait. So you're writing down the possible things for Dozan, right? He could be the forest god, or he could be Nidhogg, right?
Well,
Those are the two possibilities you're writing.
What I'm doing in this exercise is I'm seeing what the 2 fruits are if one of them is Dozan. Because what King J is doing is he's refuting that one of the fruits is Nika. And I think King J said specifically the Elbaf fruit. So what's the other fruit again then?
So the Elbaf fruit would be the Nidhogg fruit. And then the other fruit that he's saying Zebek wants is Chopper. The forest god.
King J sent additional info.
Yeah, I see that.
Chopper trained under Kureha. East Asian and Chinese medicine archetypes, including doctors being represented as long-living beings living on top of a mountain that uses herbs for medicine. Kureha is on top of a mountain and also lives longer than other humans. So Chopper's teachers is a Chinese representation of medicine. Coming back to Manes Dosan, his teacher was Dr. Tashiro Sanki. He studied in China and was the first doctor to introduce Chinese medicine to early Japan. Both Chopper and Dosan were trained under doctors who practiced Chinese medicine. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Kureha, I think, hold on. Yeah, Kureha is canonically the oldest human being we have met thus far, not including Emu, obviously, or the Gorisei with their special,
Yeah, I believe that's true as well. She's definitely up there at the minimum. But King J, can you remind me what would the 2 fruits be then? So one would be the Dozan fruit, which would be I guess in your conclusion the forest god. Well,
King J actually brings up a very funny point at the end of the additional information message. Usopp did scare Chopper and made fun of Chopper, saying that Blackbeard would never want Chopper's fruit. That would be hilarious as a joke references.
Yeah, I see that. That's a good point. Because Oda went out. I always say, like, Oda went out of his way. That was around Fishman Island. He went out of his way to make that point.
Yes, it
was the Straw Hats, Usopp and Chopper. They were saying, Blackbeard's goal, he wants to go around and take all the devil fruits. Oh,
Yeah, that's
Chopper
when
said, "Oh, he wants to take my fruit."
that's when we got the explanation for Jinbei. That's when Jinbei told us, hey, they moved Navy HQ. Akainu got the fleet commander position. He fought Kuzan for 10 days. And then he also talked about be careful, Luffy. Blackbeard's crew is specifically targeting Devil Fruit users
Mm.
and gathering them up. So, and that's when Usopp made the joke on Chopper.
So exactly, by the way, yeah, that's correct. So the Nidhogg fruit was the Elbaf fruit, right?
Okay, yeah.
Or no?
Yeah. That was the fruit on Elbaf that Zebek wanted. He wanted the Nidhogg. The other fruit King J is arguing is for the forest god, the Chopper's fruit.
And so I know like one of the fruits was for Elbaf, and then the other one was kind of hanging in the air, right? Like we didn't get that much information about it.
Yeah, we didn't. Which is why people a while ago are why people, even myself, originally I thought he was talking about whatever Loki's fruit was going to be, and then he was talking about Nika. Then I sat here and sat back and I thought maybe he's talking about the Yami Yami no Mi. But with the way King J is presenting this argument, I gotta consider Chopper also.
So we don't know where the Dozan fruit was at that point in time. My question is, would Oda care to explain how this forest god Dozan fruit got to Drum Island?
I mean, that is a good point. So the way I'm thinking about it right now is like, does Blackbeard just casually go places without a purpose? He went to Drum Island for a
Probably
reason.
not. Yeah. Chat or Smokey, if you have a sec, it's cool if you don't. If anyone can find, again, Smokey pointed out Fishman Island. I think it was Jinbei talking about. I feel like actually it might have been before Fishman Island. Regardless, it's around the time of Fishman Island. The Straw Hats were talking about how Blackbeard is searching the world for devil fruits. Chopper and Usopp were saying, "Oh, he wants my fruit." And I think Usopp said, "Why would he want your fruit, Chopper? The basic human fruit." If someone could find me that moment in the manga, I would appreciate it. I know what you're referencing, Smokey. It's like Jinbei was talking about how the Marines are stronger than they've ever been. I think that was in the middle of Fishman Island, but I think the point I'm talking to is like right before Fishman Island.
Okay. Well,
I'm not sure though. I might be wrong.
The specific moment that I remember when this conversation happened, right? Jinbei was like, Luffy, you need to know the dangers. You're the captain. Akainu is now the fleet admiral. The Navy is stronger than ever. See, I think that conversation happened after Fishman Island. Like, not after, like, the arc, but at the wrap up for the arc. When they had the banquet in the palace, we found out Shirahoshi was Poseidon earlier than that. When Robin was talking to Neptune, that is where I think this event happened. But if it happened before Fishman Island, then I've completely blocked it out and forgot.
King J points out, Hiruluk said the cure to all illnesses is a mushroom. Now check the shape of Chopper's fruit, which is a mushroom. Now, is our position that, going with this line of argumentation, because Chopper's devil fruit cures all things, this also applies to people who are Domi reversied? Is that the logic?
Well, I've looked at Chopper's. So King J has presented this argument to me before of Chopper, the way that he nullifies the Domi Reversi. My argumentation on that side was to look at Domi Reversi as a sickness, and that it was Chopper's science and the way he figured out the Oni virus on Wano kind of like leads up into this. I was leaning in towards the science of it, but he has a point. Like, I can't refute the other side.
Guys, you already know what time it is. Do all that YouTube stuff if you can, guys, like, comment, subscribe, noti bell, support your boy. Got to take care of my family, grow a bigger family, house, wife, vacations. I just came back. Chat, I'm broke now. All support through the Stream Elements link at the top of the stream chat is more than appreciated. It's 110% optional. No one here is forced to donate. But if you love me and you guys enjoy the content, feel more than free. Top of the stream chat, Stream Elements. We'll probably be going on for a little bit longer, guys. Let's keep the ball rolling. Let's keep talking about Dozan. Let's keep talking about Forest God and Chopper. All things One Piece, guys. Let's keep the ball rolling. I'm curious to see if we can find some good concrete answers. See if we can refine King J's theory. That's the question. That's the goal. L, God bless you, bro. Stream brought to you by Young Smokey. One Piece chapter 650. Thank you so much to Jordan. He said 650 for
nice
chopper fruit thing.
Chapter 650. That sounds like a Fishman Island chapter.
It definitely is. It's the when you were right. Jinbei was screaming at Luffy, you need to know these things. Let me see the specific chopper thing though. Let's see. Maybe I can put this on screen. Caribou, that nasty pig.
Yo, that is crazy. Caribou has knowledge of every freaking ancient weapons location and is taking that crap straight to Blackbeard.
That little weasel, dude. Hey, we need to remember that. We don't want to get distracted. Blackbeard could send himself or his crewmates to go get Pluton and ancient weapons through Caribou.
Right. And we also got to remember, I have been saying this for months and months and months. So when I say it, I know that you'll at least remember that I brought this up. But Lafitte is staring at Umit, the sea trade underworld king, the master of the
staring
codes.
at them?
Staring at them. He's watching them. Blackbeard has Lafitte posted at the bottom where the gondolas are. And he also made it to the top of the Holy Land to see what was going on in the Holy Land.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
So, which, like, Lafitte has always had this hypnotizing ability, right? So I've always had theories that Blackbeard was going to utilize this. I mean, he did getting into Impel Down and opening up the ship, the gates for the ships to get out. You know, hypnotizing the gate guards.
Correct. By the way, this is the chapter. Rumor has it that his crew are actively hunting down users of devil fruit abilities, though little is known of how, it seems that they possess some means of killing devil fruit users and taking their abilities for themselves. So this already to the reader, before we even read the next dialogue, next bubble, we come to think, I've seen people bring this up, even if they forget that the latter half of this moment happened. Well, doesn't that mean Blackbeard went to Drum Island? That's how we found out about the Blackbeard crew, actually. We heard that they stormed through Drum Island. Why?
Yeah, this was their intro. Their intro was Drum Island.
They go on to say the Blackbeard pirates' primary aim is to acquire the most powerful devil fruit abilities they can obtain, so be careful. Chopper says they might come after me, which again, this is Oda playing into it. Oda, look, guys, you always need to remember when you read stories, when you read One Piece, is this idea I have in my head, this opinion I have in my head, can I concretely say it's from Oda? Oh, Blackbeard's going to have a third devil fruit. Can you concretely say that, though? Did Oda ever have freaking Marco say, oh, yeah, Blackbeard's going to get a third devil fruit? Technically, that never happened. But reading this panel right here, Oda did say Blackbeard's looking for fruits. Oda did have Chopper say, oh, they're going to come after me. Moreover, Usopp says, why would they care about the Hito? Hito no me. And then they change the conversation. They just blow right past and just move on.
Classic Oda pivot.
Exactly.
Classic Oda
Classic
pivot.
Oda pivot. Now, my point is that Oda likes to use a bait and switch. Okay, let's pull up the drawing board. Okay, what do we have here? Let's see. Let's call it. Let's say moves. Okay, moves. Show me a moves.
Yo, Captain Falcon.
Yeah. So
Falcon punch.
Oda, guys, the longer you read One Piece, you come to realize Oda's writing and how to anticipate some things, right? Sometimes things in One Piece are just, hold on. And King J, I'll get to that in a second. Sometimes things in One Piece are just theories, right? BB,
right?
3 devil fruits. Sometimes things in One Piece are just theories. And maybe they're good theories. Maybe you're so convinced the theory will happen, but it's just a theory. Oda didn't explicitly put this on paper. Oda never explicitly had a character hypothesize that Blackbeard's going to have 3 devil fruits. Or Oda never explicitly said, I don't know, Emu is the devil. Emu is the devil, right? There's lots of things in One Piece, lots of moves, lots of... Here, actually, I know what I'll title this as. Not moves. There's, let's say, intentions. Maybe that's better. Okay, let's see. There's different intentions, right, between Oda and the reader. You got the intentions on the left where it's just theories. It's not something stated explicitly. But then you also have moments in One Piece where it is stated explicitly. Let's see. Let's say explicit. Okay. For an example, Ivankov explicitly said that the weapon that destroyed the Lucia was an ancient weapon, that it was Uranus. The Lucia. Let's just put ancient weapon, right? Now, these two things, these two ideas, let's take Blackbeard 3 devil fruits, and let's take Leloucia was destroyed by an ancient weapon. These two seems similar, right, to the reader. Someone could be so convinced that Blackbeard will have 3 devil fruits. They have so much conviction. And then at the same time, they're so convicted that Leloucia was destroyed by an ancient weapon. But notice that these two positions are not the same. They might have Blackbeard will have 3 devil fruits from like all these hints and maybe like some parallels in real life. But that's not the same as Ivankov right here, chat. Ivankov literally
explicitly saying it in the manga.
Exactly. Now, what is the point here? The point here, chat, is that when you have moments where characters, which ultimately is just the author writes the character's speech, the dialogue. When you have moments where characters are explicitly giving you an answer to a question, an answer to a mystery, this is what typically in One Piece and shonen manga leads to a bait and switch. Because we don't know for sure if it was an ancient weapon that destroyed the Lucia. You can say, oh, but Ivankov, like, they're a rev, and they think that it was an ancient weapon. That's just a hypothesis. Now, it's a good hypothesis because Ivankov is a Revolutionary Army member, and it does seem plausible that an ancient weapon destroyed an island, but it's still just a theory. So it's there's an open possibility of it being wrong, but simultaneously, this is being stated by the cast. So my
Didn't
point
didn't
here
he
today,
have Ivankov basically hypothesize the same things that we were hypothesizing? Oda just wanted to explicitly show it to us. And by the
Mm,
way, I agree with what you're saying, but I was just gonna say also we know that Ivankov hypothesized that whoever was sitting on that throne was a Nerona.
yeah, that's another good point. But chat, the point here is when you have authors putting out these concrete, you know, theory inspired, theory laden verbatim statements like this, it typically leads to a bait and switch because you're being set up to think, oh, this mystery, I think I have the answer. I think I have the answer because Oda put the answer in your lap. You think that Leloucia was destroyed by an ancient weapon because Oda made you think that. Oda made you think that because he literally had a character say so. Now, that's not the same thing as, oh, well, Blackbeard, maybe Blackbeard isn't going to have 3 devil fruits, and that's a bait and switch. Well, that's different because that was never stated. Let me write it right here. That was never stated by Oda.
By the
And if
way,
if it was never,
Blackbeard having 3 fruits, didn't that theory basically start with his belt and his flag, the 3 skulls?
the flag, yeah.
But
Now,
doesn't he have 3 skulls on his belt too?
I think that's ores.
Oars, okay.
But the thing here, right? Oda never stated verbatim that Blackbeard could and would have 3 devil fruits. So my point is that Blackbeard having 3 devil fruits, no matter how awesome you think the fruit or how awesome you think the theory is, I think it's still more fan driven, and maybe this wasn't even Oda's goal. But when you compare it again to Leloucia destroying or being destroyed by an ancient weapon, that was Oda's goal. He literally did have a character say that Leloucia was destroyed by an ancient weapon. Now, I forgot why I brought up this whole thing. Why did we go through this again? What was the original thing?
Your question is as good as me. We went down the rabbit hole. We're like 3 levels below where we want to start from.
Yeah, because I wanted to illustrate this because of what we were previously talking about. I wanted to go over this so that the original point makes sense.
Right.
What was it?
Back to Dozon and the Forest God.
Yeah, it was something about Dozon. Oh, I remember. It's a chopper.
Yeah,
It's the chopper thing. Now, here's the tricky thing, chat. When it comes to Blackbeard, right? Blackbeard, we'll put BB. BB wants choppers. This is where we're gonna need some nuance for this. Blackbeard wants choppers. Let's put DF, devil fruit. Blackbeard wants
Blackbeard wants
choppers,
choppers D.
DTF. No, not that. Now, notice, chat, that's on the side of explicit. Oda explicit. I just showed you guys the panels. Oda explicitly said that Blackbeard wants Chopper's devil fruits through the cast member of Usopp or Chopper, whatever. Now, notice that's on the side of explicit. So you could technically be like, okay, since Oda said it explicitly, doesn't that mean it's just going to be another bait and switch? And it's not actually that Blackbeard wants Chopper's devil fruit? That Oda wants you to think that way he switches to something else and then it's a plot twist. This is where we need nuance and we need to be careful because I would not say that every single time Oda says something explicitly that it's going to be a bait and switch. And that's the trap we don't want to fall into right here. We don't want to assume that because anytime there's a mystery, anytime there's a question and Oda's supplying an answer from the cast, that it's going to be a bait and switch and that's not going to be the answer. That's a dangerous hill to go down because you could argue that who knows who the Pirates King is going to be. And Oda wants the reader to think it's Luffy. Are we going to say that Luffy's never going to become the Pirate King because Oda wants to do a bait and switch? I don't think most fans would find that plausible. Most fans would probably find that absurd. And I'll also add, Smokey just mentioned that Ivankov hypothesized that Emu is a Nerona. And what do we have here? That was confirmed. Notice that was stated explicitly from the cast. Ivankov explicitly said that we have a question. We had a question. What is Emu's identity? What family is Emu coming from? It was Ivankov that made us think it was Narona, but that turned out to be true. We saw from Emu's recent reveal, his intro, his info box says Narona Emu. So isn't it funny how
King of the world.
King of the world, even that was stated explicitly, right? Yet it still ended up being true and not a bait and switch as far as we know. So
here's what I was thinking too, and mine's a quick little point, and I'll let you get back on it because I know that you're on a roll here.
It's all good.
I'm thinking of the logistics, right? Logistically, Blackbeard goes to Drum Island. How many devil fruits were there? Wapple's fruit, Dylan's fruit, Chopper's fruit. Going by process of elimination, out of all three of those fruits, which one would you want? Would you want to be a bison or would you want to be a Wapple? I would want Chopper's fruit, me personally.
Dude, a bison's kind of boring.
Yeah. Can't be even more boring than a squirrel.
Bro, keep slandering Ragnar. Let's see how this turns out for you.
Anyways, continue with your point.
Check your mailbox.
I will.
King J actually made a good point. He said that, another proof Chopper's fruit's a cure to everything. Blackbeard's doctor, Doc Q, ate a fruit that lets him make all diseases. And if we want to go for like a hardcore parallel between, let's write it right here.
I also think that's the matchup for Chopper. I think he'll take on Stronger and Doc Q.
Doc Q. If Doc Q's fruit lets him make all diseases, wouldn't we find a good parallel to Chopper, who has to cure all diseases?
So I knew you were going to say that. So I was just thinking of this. Chopper's dream is to cure all diseases. What if his dream just amounts to him curing Doc Q, who is all diseases? If we're going like explicitly, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that actually makes me think, like, if devil fruits come from people's dreams, wouldn't Doc Q's devil fruit be like an evil dream?
Yeah. I mean, it's if you want to infect everybody, that's not very nice.
So then we got to call into question the origins of devil fruits.
Ah, yes.
Maybe this is similar to the whole O'Hara situation, because Professor Clover was saying we deserve the rights to read the ancient weapon or read the poneglyphs in the ancient history. And it was the Gorosei that said, you should not be reading poneglyphs. You should not be reading the Void Century, Ancient Kingdom, yada, yada, because you can use it for evil. It could be weaponized. You can revive the ancient weapons with the poneglyphs. So see, it's like that classic issue. Can we have X? Because there's a possibility that X can be abused to harm people.
But in their point of view, you gonna revive the ancient weapons? That could hurt us.
Yeah, I mean, even from a normal person's point of view, are people not worried about Blackbeard getting ancient weapons?
Yeah, for sure.
So someone could say, hey, we could avoid the mess of Blackbeard taking an ancient weapon or Emu having an ancient weapon if there is no ancient weapon. You see? Personally,
if I was in the story, personally, I would have destroyed all three of the ancient weapons, except for Poseidon, because it's a living being. That just wouldn't be right.
Just put Poseidon in jail.
Nah, we gonna create a glass bubble for her. A glass bubble she's got to wear everywhere she goes. That
Send
is
Poseidon
unbreakable.
to live on make Poseidon live on another planet.
We could send her to the moon. She can hang out with Eminem.
All right, chat. Any last comments, questions, theories, concerns? Make it known, guys. We're gonna wrap this up here soon, okay? Any last comments, questions, theories, concerns? I do want to give a big shout out to Smokey carrying the stream with the support. I appreciate it more than you could ever understand. Big
No
shout out
worries, my
to
friend.
King J. King J came through with a banger chopper theory. You know, I'm actually down for it. I don't mind chopper being Dozan.
Yeah, I mean, I was pushing back on King J with this, but when you put it this way, I also gotta co-sign this as well.
We're gonna have to sleep on it though.
Yeah. By the way, guys, I still have not abandoned my idea of being in the stream once a week. I think I said 2 weeks 2 weeks ago. I think I'm gonna wait for the next break week. So if y'all want to come in there and talk about anything, I will be there for 4 hours at least 1 or 2 days a week
You
in the
guys hear him?
Discord.
You guys need to listen up. Let me do it. Exclamation mark Discord. Exclamation mark Discord in the stream chat, guys. Join my Discord server. Young Smokey's gonna be in the voice call every week, chopping it up, all things One Piece, whatever you want to talk about. I'm gonna try to hop in there off stream where we can say whatever we want, totally unfiltered, raw and genuine. Things that you can't talk about on stream or ask me on stream, come to the Discord. I invite you guys. Smokey invites you guys. It'll be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think as soon
sounds
as I end
like
the stream, I'm
brothers
gonna get
got
some
his
food.
brothers got his munchies going.
Bro, I'm actually really hungry. Because I
am
had
too,
my
dude.
dinner. I had my dinner on the plane, but it wasn't that much, to be honest.
How long was the plane? Was it a long plane ride or
It was supposed to
semi-short?
be an hour 40. It felt like an hour.
Wow.
It was
I didn't
really
realize
short.
I didn't realize that was that close. Okay. No, that makes sense. But wow, I wouldn't have expected an hour.
All right. Sorry. No, an hour was quite short. But wait, is it? Do you even have lunch yet?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I just woke up and you were streaming. This is the first thing I did this morning.
Came straight here.
Exactly.
All right. I think we'll call it here. There's no break next week, right? We definitely have a chapter.
No break next week.
Bro brought back kosher cookies from the Holy Land trip. Hell no. What? Yeah, Nika. Dawn of Ascension just brought up Chopper has the human fruit, and the Nika fruit is a model of the human fruit. And
that is
fruit,
true.
Or Nika fruit is the sun god.
I think Chopper's fruit was the blueprint for the naming scheme for Oda to come up with the Nika. Like maybe he already had the Nika in mind, but calling it specifically the Hito no Mi model, I think.
But you know, one interesting thing is I remember people being very annoyed in the past with the idea that there's more unnamed or renamed devil fruits. You remember that?
Yes.
Like people used to say, like, why does everything have to be a god? Why is every fruit renamed? Everything's a secret fruit. But are we gonna have to do that?
I mean, we got to consider it. I think it's not a matter of the subjectiveness of whether you like it or not. The Oda has already given us one concrete proof of this, and that's Luffy's devil fruit. If he did it for Blackbeard, if he did it for Emu, if he did it for any other character, I would not be surprised. That's all I'm trying to say.
And I mean, there's like a million devil fruits. It's only going to be like what, maybe 4 renames. And what are the 4 fruits? Are they mundane fruits? No, it could be the gods of the One Piece world. So is it really like that wild that 4 out of like a bajillion fruits are renamed and those 4 are gods to be hidden?
Oh, by the way, the other Hito model fruit that we also know of is Sengoku's Buddha fruit.
Buddha. I mean, is that, you said God?
Hito. You know, the naming scheme. Hito no Mi model Joy Boy. Hito. Yeah. I mean, Nika.
Model Joy Boy.
Hito model human Chopper's fruit. Hito model Buddha. Sengoku.
Yeah. Yeah, it is Buddha. Gold Buddha. Daibutsu.
Daibutsu.
All right. We're going to wrap this up here and we'll be back next week, guys. Since I'm back in town, guys, you will get these spoiler streams and reaction streams on time. I want to appreciate all you guys for being here and everyone supporting. Mega shout out to Smokey. God bless your soul. Thank you guys so much. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. I look forward to next week. I hope you guys do too as well. Join the Discord server so you can hop into voice call with Smokey and I. More people. I'll catch you guys soon. Take care, everybody.
Nice.